This week's 48 Hours investigates a deadly first date. When first responders got to the scene in November 2021, they found fitness instructor Leslie Reeves dead and her date, Chris Smith, shot and seriously wounded. The Illinois couple had met online and decided to go on their first date the night before Thanksgiving. 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty reports.
It was around 3:30 in the afternoon on Thanksgiving Day 2021 when crime scene investigator Josh Easton of the Illinois State Police arrived at a house in the tiny village of Farmersville. What do you see when you first approach the door?
I noticed the side door of the house, the glass in the door has been broken out. The refrigerator was pulled away from the wall. The kitchen table was pushed, the chairs were knocked over.
Chris Smith, who lived in the house, had been shot, critically wounded, and was rushed to a hospital. His date, Leslie Reeves, who taught self-defense classes for women,
I'm Leslie from All You Studio,
was lying dead on the living room floor. How many times was she shot?
She was only shot one time.
But no weapon was found, and investigators suspected an intruder had forced his way in. Little details told a story, like the burnt pizza in the oven.
I assumed that maybe they were cooking a pizza for the night and the suspect shows up at the door. They both tried to fight him off, and when Chris was shot, Leslie went to the living room to try to hide.
Easton spotted a silver-colored shell casing near Leslie's body, another in the kitchen where Chris had been found barely conscious. No one knew if Chris would recover enough to identify the shooter.
We were talking to him, singing to him, and I was always holding his hand.
Open your eyes, buddy.
At the hospital, Chris's mother Sharon and sister Ashley rarely left his side.
Why would somebody do this to him? Why would they try to hurt my baby? That's all I kept thinking. He's my baby. Someone hurt him.
Going on a first date and they both end up getting shot. It's insane.
Erin Moriarty joins us now. Erin,
This was unusual for us if you think about it, because there was actually someone who survived.
Right.
Yeah.
And that is something that we rarely ever see. Chris Smith survived. You got an exclusive interview with him.
I did, and he is very inspiring because this is a man, here's what's so sad, he doesn't even remember Leslie. He doesn't remember meeting her at all.
my gosh.
His memory was erased. And this started off as such a mystery. This is a small town. These are two people who just met for the first time, enjoying themselves, and then somebody breaks in. But this was also a great investigation, and that is, we focus on that and how Chris has made this amazing recovery and how they got the killer.
So how they were able to get a suspect in the case without a weapon?
Well, this is interesting. They needed to find a suspect because of that lack of weapon. They knew that someone had survived, and here there was an armed killer still out there. So they made an arrest within hours based on two friends of Leslie who had said she had been stalked. But that was a very tough thing to do that quickly when you don't even know the results of the DNA testing in the crime scene.
And
What?
Go ahead.
Was there hard evidence tying this suspect to the crime scene?
That's what ended up being very difficult. There wasn't any. His DNA was not in the crime scene.
Wow.
He made a big point about that. There was glass all over. It wasn't in his car. There was no blood in his car. This was a very tough investigation that this small town and the Illinois State Police managed to solve.
Wow. All right, Erin Moriarty, thank you. You can watch this incredible report, Fatal First Date, on 48 Hours tomorrow night at 10, 9 Central, right here on CBS. We're streaming on Paramount+.